When it comes to gear for your smartphone, these days there are basically endless of different options that you could get. You could get add-on lenses, you could get filters, gimbals, whatever. Like I said, endless of options. But in my opinion, there is one thing that every aspiring filmmaker should have in his or her toolkit, and that is some sort of a tripod. Today we will take a closer look at the carbon fiber version from Sandmarc, and we will answer the question if it's worth upgrading from any other one. Let's get started. Alright, welcome back to the channel. In case you're new here, welcome. My name is Julian. I'm the creator of Smartphone Filmmaking Pro, and on this channel we talk about filming with your smartphone. I share a bunch of different tips and tricks, and I'm also reviewing constantly the newest and latest and greatest gear. So in case that's interesting for you, I would kindly ask you to hit that subscribe button. But like I said, today we will take a closer look at the Sandmarc tripod. And what I always like to do when I'm doing these kinds of reviews is, first of all, let's answer the question, why would you need a tripod in the first place? Alright, so obviously you do not need a tripod for a walking shot like you can see right now. But the problem with a shot like this one is you need a second person. So I'm in the lucky position to have a camera person with me. But if you're not in that lucky position, which you're probably not, then a tripod will be very, very helpful in case you would like to film yourself. So I like to use my tripods whenever I'm filming a client of ours, when we're doing an interview or when the person is talking directly into the camera. That's when I like to use a tripod, and that's when I'm basically always using a tripod. Of course, there are certain scenarios like we're doing right now, then we are using a gimbal, but for like 95% of all times, then we're just using a tripod, and that's where something like this comes very much in handy. Another thing where a tripod basically is a must-have is whenever you would like to film some sort of a time-lapse. And a time-lapse basically is, you know, when you're filming for a longer period of time, or when you're taking several different photos for a longer period of time, and then you speed it up in the post-production, and then you get a nice shot like this. These are some of the scenarios where I like to use a tripod. And you know, whenever I'm traveling and I want to film myself, especially if you're someone that wants to film yourself, then a tripod is basically a must-have. But now I would say let's take a closer look at this one from Sandmarc. Let's see how it works and if it's any good. So what I personally really like with this tripod from Sandmarc is its compact size. As you can see, this is very, very tiny, and this is not even the tiniest size that you can get. You can also open up the legs right here, and then you can, you know, put it down like this and put it into the package that it comes with, you know, the carrying case, and then it gets even smaller than this. So that's something that I really like. You know, you can just open that up, and then basically you can just dial in the, you know, basically the angle that you would like to have. So you can put it really close down to the ground, or you can also just use it, you know, basically normally. And the way and how it works normally is you just put those in, and then the legs lock in just like this, and then you just have to screw on these legs, and then you can extend them. I will now put it to the highest position possible to see how high it can get, because that's something that is important if you're planning to film people that are, I don't know, about 2 meters of height. Then this tripod might be a bit too small for you, because the largest size that this can, you know, go up to is 161 centimeters. And as you can see, I'm about 186 centimeters, and that's pretty low. You can extend it even a bit further by pulling on here. But this right now, this is the highest position that it can possibly go. And if you compare it to my size, you know, it's not too bad. But like I said, in case you're filming some giants, then this might be a bit too small. The tripod does come with a mini ball head attached on the top. You could unscrew it if you want it, but to be honest, I'm just always using that one. You can unscrew that to change the position of the ball, which is very handy. I will also show you in a minute how you can set it up to shoot vertical. But for now, we'll just leave it just like this. We can unscrew it, and on the very top, we have a quick release plate, which looks just like this. And this quick release plate is very handy because you can just mount the phone mount on top of this and use it like this. Or as I'm doing it right now, I have set up my phone onto this cage, or in this cage right here. This is the small rig cage. A full review about that is on the channel. And I'm basically just screwing this in directly into my cage because it has a couple of 1/4-20 screws. And then I can just mount it just like this, lift the lid, And by the way, this is also the Sandmarc anamorphic lens, and I can now start shooting some very high quality videos with my anamorphic lens and with this setup. And this, for example, would be a very nice setup also for shooting some cinematic looking interviews, for example, or statements, or just landscape shots. So that's something that's really nice. Also something that I have said already before, the height is less of an issue if you're shooting vertical video, because you're just, capturing more on this side of the frame. And like I showed you before, it's very simple to just change that up. And now we have a very nice looking vertical position. But just one thing, we of course need to detach the anamorphic lens, because shooting anamorphic in a vertical position would not make a lot of sense. But just as it is right now, we could use that, for example, to shoot some, some Instagram reels or whatever. So I could just press the record button and then walk over and start talking directly into my camera. And yeah, that would be something. That would be one use case of using a tripod, in my opinion. And one more thing that is very cool with this tripod, like I have already mentioned a bit before, in case you would like to get some very close shots to the ground, you can just unlock the legs basically, and then put them upside down. You can do this with all three of them. And then basically you can capture shots like this. As you can see right now, I would be filming my leg, so I just unscrew the ball head just like this and put it over to the position, and now we can get some really nice low angle shots. So the Sandmarc Carbon Fiber Tripod can go up to 161 centimeters and can carry up to 6 kilograms. So you can also easily use that with any other smartphone, with every setup, and you can also use most DSLR cameras. It is a bit on the pricier side. This tripod currently retails for around about $300. And now the question, should you get it, and is it worth spending $300? To be honest, the build quality is absolutely fantastic, and I think it looks really good, and it feels good, and it does what it should. But the price point is a bit high in my opinion. There are also other options from Sandmarc. They basically have almost the complete identical tripod, but this one is not carbon fiber. It's a bit more heavy, but other than that, it is pretty much completely identical. And if money is important for you, and for most of us it still is, then I would maybe consider getting the regular Pro version and not this carbon fiber one. If you want to get the best of the best, the latest and greatest, then of course go for this one. It looks absolutely amazing. It definitely catches the looks of most people when you're filming with this, but in the end you just have to decide for yourself. In case you would like to learn to master filming with your smartphone, we have something very exciting. We have just launched our all-new starter course, where we have packed 3 hours of content into a super packed and dense online course. This is our entry-level course that you can get for just $27. We also have a bunch of different downloads and freebies for you guys in that. I will link it down below. And in case you have not seen the video of the mini version of this tripod, then click this video over there.